Hi guys, welcome back to the den. We might get photobombed here in a minute. The dogs heard me talking. Uh, Holidays are upon us, and this can be a hard time of year for a lot of people, just because of not feeling like they have a connection with people around them, or can be their first year going without a particular cherished loved one with them because they crossed over. And whether we're talking about, a cherished pet, a beloved parent, a sibling, a spouse, that first Christmas can be really hard. You have all these gatherings where everybody's expected to be happy, and it leaves you feeling kind of hollow and empty, and you don't want to go and bring everybody down, but you don't really want to be by yourself. Or maybe you want to be around people, but it's just that time of year where you just don't really have anybody. Um, and I have a friend going through some heavy grief right now because of a loss in their life. So I just wanted to address some of the healthier coping mechanisms that we can use for dealing with that grief, because I know it's easy to slip into toxic ways of dealing with it. You know, we withdraw, we cope with substances that are not for our highest good or health. Things that you can do to help yourself emotionally. And when I say help, it's not like it's going to make the pain go away, but it's a way to channel it in such a manner that you're not destroying yourself as you're dealing with that pain. Because no matter how painful it is, you are a beautiful soul and you are needed on this earth. And we very much want you to keep breathing and to keep going. So, some of the things you can do in the early stages, give yourself enough time to grieve. And let's face it, you're going to spiral back around. Healing from grief is not a linear equation. It circles back on itself many times throughout the healing process. And keep in mind, I am not a psychiatrist or um, I'm not a doctor, so if you are feeling severely depressed, please go get help. All right. Don't just rely on the videos here on YouTube or on any of the other platforms. Please get yourself the help that you need, so that you are able to make it through each day. But things that I've done, things that have helped family members of mine: journaling your feelings, writing a letter to your loved one that's passed, and I don't care if it's an animal or a person, in spirit, it doesn't matter. They're hearing what's in your heart. The paper and the pen or pencil is just for you to be able to get those feelings out, right? You can talk to yourself verbally as you do it, or you can stay quiet. If you want to add a dimension of sending that letter to them, burning it in a fire or burying it in the earth. Usually the fire is the preferred way if you're looking at it from an esoteric standpoint, because fire helps with the consummation of the message, and then the air lifts it up to the heavens to your loved one. You can also, if it's an animal, or if the person that passed really loved animals, you can make a donation to a charity in their honor. Um, you can do acts of kindness or pay it forward. I know a family member who, in grieving for their spouse that passed unexpectedly, they would occasionally stop by the drive-through and offer to pay for the person's drink ahead of them when they got up to the speaker to place their order. as just a little thing to try and help cheer up the person ahead of them. Or they would volunteer at bereavement classes or also at nature centers. As they got further into their healing process, they also got into art, which allowed them to express themselves creatively in a healthy manner. Some people get into exercise. Some people take nature walks to connect with the planet. And there's a lot of negative ions in the earth, which is actually a good thing. It helps to recharge our systems. Even walks on the beach, talking with friends, if you have any that are close enough that you feel comfortable expressing yourself to them. And also joining groups that are meant to help support you can be beneficial when you're ready. And don't let anybody tell you that there's a specific amount of time that once it's passed, you should be over it. When you've gone through a death that is very impactful, it can take a long time. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be trying to go on with your life. You absolutely should. But don't be hard on yourself when you have those moments or those days when you're going back and you're crying, all right? That's perfectly normal as part of the healing process. Anytime there's real love, there's real pain. And the emotional grief can actually manifest physically in your body. Dying of heartbreak is a real thing. So just doing the best you can. If the best thing you can do for yourself that day is to get up and go get yourself a comfort food to get through the day, then do it. But eventually, learning to live your life fully is the best way that you can honor the individual that passed on, right? Because they're going to be able to see it from the other side. They want to see you happy and healthy and living your life. And I know it's hard to do when you want them by your side physically. And even though their meat suit's gone, spiritually they're still with you. And I realize there are certain faiths or lack of faiths out there that believe that when someone dies, that's it, they're gone. But I personally subscribe to you know, energy never dies, it just transforms. So they're all around us. Every time you think of them, they're right there with you. They're proud of you for keep pushing forward every day. And they're cheering you on through your struggles, even if you can't feel them. They're there supporting you. And they're celebrating with you when you have your triumphs, for sure. And they're trying to send you signs and messages, whether it's a penny or a dime or a quarter that you find on a consistent basis after their passing, or maybe it's certain songs playing on the radio that always make you think of them. A specific type of butterfly or specific birds. People say cardinals or goldfinches can be a sign. White feathers especially, but any feather scent. Yes, it could be a guardian angel, but it's also said to be a sign from your loved one. And keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a physical feather. It doesn't have to be a physical bird. It can be a painting. It can be an image. It can be something showing up in your feed that's not algorithm based. That's going to make you think of them. It can be catching a whiff of a scent, whether it was a favorite perfume or cologne, a favorite flower, a favorite food, a favorite cigar. It all actually means something. If it's making you think of them, it's a sign from them, okay? Don't brush it off. A lot of people do, but don't brush it off. They're letting you know they're okay. They're letting you know they care. I have a favorite poem, and for the life of me, I can't remember who wrote it. Do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the diamonds glint on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn's rain. When you awaken in that morning hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand by my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. I hope that poem helps to bring you some comfort if you're going through the grief. And if you're fortunate enough not to be going through grief right now, I hope you will give grace and hold space for those who are. This is a particularly hard season for those going through it. And they could definitely use the kindness and compassion and understanding so that they don't feel like they always have to have the happy face on. Letting them know that you appreciate them being there with you, that you understand it's hard for them, makes more of a difference than you realize. And for those of you that are struggling, please know you're not alone, and we care. I send energy out pretty much on a nightly basis to help with an aching heart for those that are grieving, missing their loved ones. And all you need to do is be willing to accept. I send it out to the universe. If you need it, it's there for you, okay? And I'm sure there's many other people that work with energy and light that do the same thing. People just have to be willing to accept it. So, yeah, you're not alone this holiday. Even if physically you might feel like it, you're not alone. And people care. And just know we're thinking about you. And try to think of a way that lets you honor your loved one while still letting you grieve, so that you can take the healthy way rather than fall into drinking or drugs or any number of other awful outcomes that could be there, okay? We love you. And I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by the den again. Bye-bye for now.